From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, welcome into another edition of The Horse's Mouth here on Buzz TV at my bar at Tommy Max. Brought to you by our good friends at TruckCrashLaw.com and also The Carpet Man. Great to have both of them on board. We're talking a little business right here in San Marco. We're talking some sports as well. Let's welcome in one of our new co-hosts. First, though, it's Leah Roesler from San Marcos Merchants Association. Leah,
Hello.
how are you?
Doing well. Always
Good
a
to
pleasure.
see you. Welcome back.
Thank you.
And you're doing a fine job with that class. I appreciate that.
Representing.
Right? That's right.
I'm originally from Milwaukee, so, you know, gotta have a beer.
That's right. Old Milwaukee. Nothing
right.
but the best, right? That was
Exactly.
the commercial, if you remember that. All right, I know you have a couple guests here, but let's first
Yes.
meet Alison Pate from Pate's Keys, right?
AP's 3 keys.
AP's 3 Keys. Thank you, Allison, for
No
that.
problem.
Tell us about AP's 3 Keys. What you
It's
doing?
a sports consulting business.
Okay.
The goal is to change the culture of sports into a more human-based.
Okay.
And the main piece is going into teams and teaching team building, leadership, keys to classroom success for college and youth programs, financial literacy, and coaching outside of the X's and O's, like the compassion piece,
Okay.
the psychology piece of coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And we also help develop sports camp programs into professional, organized, well-run programs and take some of that player development into underserved communities to like help
Make a
build them up
difference.
as well. Yes.
Okay, really lean on that. Like, hey, here you are doing something great. Now let's do something great outside of the sport that we're
Yes,
in.
and
Right?
give these areas resources that
Yeah.
they don't have and give them chances that they might not otherwise get if somebody's not pouring into them.
So you told me off here you worked with Division I and the NBA Developmental League
Yes.
in basketball, right?
Yes, before
Yeah.
it was the Gatorade
Before it
League.
was the
Yes.
Gatorade League. What'd you learn from that, and how'd that get you?
That's
Off
those
and
two
running.
experiences are honestly what got me started on the business. Just seeing the inside of the sport. I always wanted to work in basketball ops, but getting in there and kind of seeing that it's more of a money based. It's a business. It's not.
Yeah.
Their athletes aren't always humans. They're pieces
They're
of
numbers.
they're
Beef.
pieces of a of a
Numbers
financial
on
chart.
beef is what it is, basically.
It's and
Yeah,
I've actually
branded.
had athletes tell me that, especially at the NBA's. It was the D League then. At that level, I had guys that would say, you know, we don't always feel like we're treated like humans.
Yeah.
And I couldn't
No.
stand working in that and not being able to make a big enough difference.
Yeah.
So decided to use
Cool.
the connections in the network to get outside of it and actually come in
Cool.
and make that business.
Well,
that
great
difference.
to have you on the show. Thanks
you.
for being here. Jackie Grzebin is here from
Yes.
Flame Broiler. How
Great to
are
meet
you?
you.
Great
Good.
to see you. I know you're right down the street in San Marco, but you have a
Yes.
couple other locations as well, correct?
We do, yes.
Yeah.
Currently we have 4 locations in Jacksonville.
Okay.
We're building our 5th location right now. Hopefully that will be open in August, September.
Okay.
So we started on the south side 12 years ago, opened the first location in Tapestry Park.
Okay.
Worked 3 miles down to open the second location off JTB and Phillips Highway.
Awesome.
And then, of course, we have one right down the street here in San Marco. That was the 3rd location. And our 4th one is on the west side off of Argyle Forest.
Okay. Awesome.
That was a drive-through
location, yes.
and the one of the first for the franchise. So our 5th location is going to be a brand new prototype, and that's going to be a double drive-through with no dining room at all. So
Wow.
we're going to see how that works out. We're super excited.
Wow,
for it.
that's really exciting. How do you? So you call it yourselves quick service, right? So it's
We
not
do.
fast food. It's not sit down, but you get it quick, and then you can sit down. I would imagine.
And
it's
right.
delicious.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you,
What
thank
is it?
you.
Chicken, beef, and tofu. I wrote right. So you kind of
Yes.
handle a little bit of the everybody.
Yes, yeah. It's teriyaki flavored and Korean inspired rice bowls, basically.
Cool.
So you have your choice of chicken, beef, or tofu served over brown or white rice. And then veggies are blanched. So we were a little bit nervous bringing it to Jacksonville because we were one of the first to open outside of the state of California.
Okay.
So we weren't quite sure if, Jacksonville was ready for super healthy, but they love it. And people eat it just because it's good, not because it's healthy.
No,
So-
right? Yeah, it's
and-
got to. Well, it's
Well, and a
gotta
lot of
be
people
good. And the service
do
is
love
gotta
how
be-
healthy it is, and
Yeah.
that you can get that high protein and
Yes, yeah, it's a
That's
very
popular.
high protein, low carb mix
Right.
with a decent amount of calories,
Yep.
and it's just quick, it's easy. We're super popular with like caterings and athletes. We're doing a
Cool.
lot with
Yeah.
the local
Good
colleges and high school, and it's quick grab and go. So people seem to love it. It's a very simple menu, and that's kind of what attracted me to it. It's,
Beautiful.
you know what you're getting every time you go.
Yeah, it's consistent. That's
Yes,
great.
and I brought some sauces for you.
All
So
right,
we
cool.
bottled our sauces.
Beautiful.
This is called magic sauce, but most people call it some type of form of crack because it is so addicting. So, and then
Should I
a
put
series
some
of
on?
then a series of hot sauces. So we just bottled all of
Awesome.
those, and the franchise is super excited to offer retail items.
Very cool. Well, great to have you on here.
Thank you.
So we're going to eat a flame broiler, then we're going to go to crumble cookies for some dessert.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Steve, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Seegmiller, right? Is that correct?
Seegmiller, yep.
Seegmiller. Thank you very much. Great to
thanks
have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, how long you been with crumble cookies? By the way, I mean, everybody's had crumble cookies. I mean, I know I've had them in my home from time to time, birthdays or something like that with my kids, but how long you been with crumble?
Yeah, so I opened up my first location in Oakleaf back in August,
Okay,
and
cool.
then opened up San Marco here about 2 months ago.
Okay.
And
Cool.
so, yeah, not quite a year from opening, but it
Yeah.
it takes a little longer to work up front to get the store open.
Yep, sure.
But man, it's been a great experience, and in San Marco, we've just loved being part of the community and in the area. It's been a really cool experience.
How do you get, for both of you, how do you duplicate? Like, you have one location, I have another, like, it's got to be run, smoothly, everything's got to be right. Like, I'll start with you. How do you make sure that happens?
Yeah, so our strategy when we opened our second one was to get our junior leadership trained as best as we could, because when you open, everybody's brand new.
Feeder system almost.
Yeah,
Yep.
so we had everybody train at our first location
Okay.
to get up and running and have a good understanding of how the business works and how to bake the cookies. And then when we opened, we were prepared for that.
Great. Jackie, how about
Yeah.
you guys? What do you
Very
say?
similar.
Yeah.
When I opened my first location, I brought my cousin in. We're all also from Wisconsin.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
she had moved and
Fun fact.
relocated. So
Wisconsin.
we knew that we were going to grow to have multi-units here.
Yep.
So we kind of split up so she could run the second one while I was running the first. And then really it is just keeping employees. I have all of my managers have been with me over 7 years, some of them over 10.
That's
So
awesome.
as long
means
as
a
you're
lot.
able to keep that and they know the values and what you do in the organization, they can
Right.
teach.
Yeah. And Alison, for you with the athletes, right? They gotta be able to trust you, right? And they
Yes.
gotta to keep them coming back, right? You gotta deliver on your end,
Absolutely.
so they keep coming back. I mean, it's different business, obviously, but
But it's the same concept.
kind of the same
Right,
concept,
yeah.
right? You got to make sure they got to feel good. They got to
If-
feel really good about your guidance and what you're doing.
And if they don't buy in, then you don't stand
Right.
a chance of making a change.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the fact that it's not just the personal development. It is that, but it's also, look, you're on a great stage and you have a chance to really make a difference, not just on the court, right? Outside the court, in the community, and helping people. And I think everybody has that in them, but to have someone like show them how to do that, hey, start a foundation. Well, great. How do I start I don't, you know what I mean? I have no idea, right? It's great that you're doing that, but that's all a part of it. That they trust you and understand that you're keeping them in the right situations, right?
Yes, definitely.
What's the future for you guys? What do you just growing, getting more athletes? What are we talking?
We're growing, getting more programs in. We launched prior to COVID, and then with COVID shutting things down, that was a huge hit,
Sure.
especially as a freelancer or a consultant, because it wasn't even when sports picked back up. Everybody was slow to bring the outside back in.
Yeah.
So we've been working more, focusing recently on a relaunch to how to come back better. How can we better serve our athletes? What were we doing before COVID, and what can we add to that? So we've expanded our team building and our leadership programming so that we can have more of an impact in those ways, because those are skills, whether it's on a team or in a workplace, knowing how to lead, knowing how to work with other people, like those are skills that carry over to anything these guys do outside of, inside and outside of their sports.
Yeah. No
So
doubt.
really developing those and expanding things where we have a Monday motivation program for teams. So it can be in person if it's local, or it can be just a 15-minute virtual, like coaches get to pick a concept of things we already have, and we just do a quick little motivational speech for the team to keep them on track for the week, and the coaches can reinforce that, and we can reinforce it with graphics as well throughout the week for the team.
Cool. Keep it fresh.
But to just really get in there and make a difference in, I mean, like with you're talking about with leadership, when you having people that have stayed with you for 7 years and things like that, like that consistency and that culture is what makes the difference in those lives, and building that culture. Our hashtag is culture under construction.
Yeah. Isn't it always?
So
Yes,
Yeah.
that's great.
Ever
just
evolving.
building that,
Yeah, there's nothing like a locker room that's got great culture, or a team.
Right.
or business that has great culture and everybody's on the same page. You all get, you know what to expect, you know what to do, you know what's expected of you, you know you're going to get rewarded, you know you're going to get your ass chewed, whatever the case may be, you know that is consistent. I've always appreciated that as a former player. You know, Tom Coughlin, he was the epitome of all of that, right? It's fair, honest, but consistent and tough. And sometimes, you know, hey, we won a lot of games that way, so that was a good thing.
And you have to be both.
Yeah,
It's not
you
just
do.
about making you feel good. You have to know when you're not doing something the right way so that you can learn how to do it better.
That's right. Great job by everybody. Thanks for being here and best of
Thank
luck.
you.
Can we
All right.
can we see what's in that box there?
Oh, yes, you sure can.
I know. Gotta check out the goods first.
So we have over
Ooh, nice.
250 flavors, but we only do 6 each week. So we have a weekly rotating menu.
cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so each week it makes it nice and fun for all of our guests and for us as bakers as well. We get to make new cookies each week. So we've got our chocolate mallow, our classic pink sugar. This is our cake batter blondie. This one is our honey cake featuring honey grams. And then we've got our chocolate chip.
All right, nice.
They all
Chocolate
sound
chip's gotta be a
fabulous.
staple,
It is a
right?
staple. Yeah, that's on the menu every week.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's great. They look fantastic. We're going to eat some cookies, I guess, after this show is over. All right, thanks, guys. Really appreciate you being here. Hey, that'll do it for us this time around. If you want to check out all their profiles and conversations like these, go to iwannabuzz.com. So until next time, stay safe and be cool out there. We'll see you right here on the Horse. Cheers.